Daredevil subforum, and if you have ideas, I'm trying to get more people to highlight that thread so that developers will look at it and say, okay, you know, we need to help out Daredevil, and here are some ideas. But you know, there've been some really good ones where he's got his clubs, and you know they're attached to each other, so he should be able to maybe wrangle in enemies or trying to think of the word, grapple them, just like the grappling hook that who's a Black Cat provides in the beginning of the game. I think that would be a great move for Daredevil to grab an enemy or to even wrap them up with his clubs. I think would be usable.
Yeah, if you think about that, you know that Luke Cage has that move as well, and that the new Spider-Man rebuild will give that move. And if you say in November that Daredevil will get his rework, that's interesting because it might as well go together with some abilities from Gambit that they're gonna help that to improve Daredevil as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just saw you playing a Squirrel Girl earlier, and you know, she had a counter attack move that it looked like didn't unlock until level 24, but it seemed like a really advantageous one because it was just a passive and it would allow you to attack after a dodge.
Yeah, and I think someone like Daredevil should have that.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of abilities. I mean, even Luke Cage's combo tree, I really like that ability where he's got those skills that can trigger other powers. So I'm looking for something maybe like that for Daredevil.
Someone asks if I have played. It's a question to me actually, but have I played a Squirrel? Yes, I have her on a test server. I will after the interview. I will continue showing her, but yeah. She's really fun.
Yeah,
but yeah, about these abilities, I think they show that they're willing to do that. I know that the new Spider-Man will get a spin to win ability, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know if Daredevil, if something like that would fit with his character. He already has Whirling Club, and you know those types of abilities are really valuable in the game, but I can't say they're very true to his character.
Yeah, I think for me they work for Spider-Man because Spider-Man has been using his webbing all through the comics for various options, and making the webbing into a ball, I think it's really, you know, he has been doing that, so that makes more sense than a character like Daredevil, which is just yeah, I don't know, I'm not really good at developing or ideas, but just all I can say is, you know, what I experienced during the day I play, and when I played Daredevil I felt that he was I liked his radar ping because of the visuals. I think the skill is one of the most impressive early visuals that I've seen in the game.
Yeah,
but
it's too bad they removed it. I thought it was pretty good, but you know it did hinder some gameplay, and I think that's why it did go away.
Yeah, but I hope they bring that back then in some form, because that's true to Daredevil, I think. I mean, and
yeah, it's closer to what you see in the comics. And I posted again in the Daredevil subforum. There's a thread about it. Just, you know, let's make Daredevil better. Just with posting comic scans and, you know, recommendations on powers.
Yeah.
Because I asked Doomsaw, you know, what's the best way I can make this character better, and he said, basically, you know, just posting reference material. Which powers would you steal from other characters if you could, and yeah, ideas.
Cool. Greenfork asked if we can have a link to that thread. Could you point us to where that is?
Let's see. I'm not actually on your Twitch stream. It's just in the Daredevil subforum on the Marvel Heroes site.
I will be able to find it.
Yeah. I could send you a message to it, I suppose, but.
There we go. I posted it.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I'm really trying to get people to contribute, you know, what they think he should be like. Even if you just post jokes about him being blind, you know, it's all right.
Yes, I know Deadpool does that, so why not?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say, you can see his unique item that I'm wearing. It makes him invisible every so often, even though Emma's not doing that to me. And I also get a big shield that pops up that makes me invincible. So it's kind of a nice unique to have. So
Oh yeah,
I'm
I see it
invisible
now.
again.
Yeah. Cool. We got more questions. That's awesome. I like that. Do you think Daredevil's voice actor is right for the character? Would you prefer Ben Affleck troll face?
You
That's
know
a
what?
nice one.
Luckily, he doesn't talk too much, but he's all right. He does sound quite a bit like Wolverine. I've heard some people say that, and he's okay.
Maybe it's even the same voice actor, or
It could be. Luckily, it's just a game. It's not a movie, so.
yeah, exactly. I do think though that the voice acting is really good in this game. They have awesome characters.
Yeah, definitely. There are some fun ones. I mean, Deadpool is one of the ones you have to have and listen to his voice acting.
Yeah.
He talks the most, which is appropriate.
Yeah, and then you have now the Lady Deadpool. I don't know if you've seen her already, but she's also really amazing.
I have. Yeah, I haven't heard all of her lines and what she says.
Yeah, and then we also get the Squirrel Girl, which is it's also amazed me. The voice is really good. So another question by Mr. Heiju, one of my most loyal viewers, I must say. How is Daredevil as a boss killer?
You know, I actually created a thread in the gameplay guides where I'm trying to measure the times or time characters to see how quickly they can kill a boss. He's definitely not the fastest. You know, he's a background character. He's not a front lines kind of guy and just doesn't do the damage that other characters do. So he's not the best boss killer. But he won't put you to sleep like Captain America will. I mean,
Oh, I got an amazing job. Drop an advanced regalia, so I'm happy with that.
cool.
Especially with the pet classes coming up. So yeah, we are currently almost at the Doom boss. So I'm gonna end it there. Everyone has time for questions until we reach Doom. Which character do you feel is actually worse than Daredevil? Is that your question, daughter?
Let's see, worse than Daredevil? You know, it's just tough. I mean, there are situations where it's okay, but I mean, Colossus is pretty bad at times. I saw that he was voted the worst on the forums, and it can be true. I mean, the one thing he really has going for him is his projectile dodge, or projectile deflection. I've been able to get that up to about 95%. So actually, the Cow Commanders, when they shoot their beams, I mean, it just deflects completely off of him, which is really nice. But as soon as they get close to him, they just rip him apart, which doesn't seem right.
So Colossus would be your vote as well for.
Yeah, I mean, he does probably even less damage, and yeah, his options are even more limited, I would say.
What I find intriguing though is that even though you play these characters, you still enjoy the game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the nice thing is this is one of the few outlets to be able to play as comic book characters you enjoy in a better game maybe than I haven't played Marvel Super Squad online, but it seems like it's geared more towards kids, a younger fan base. So at least this is trying to be more adult.
Yeah, and I also like how they stay true to the comics as much as they can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, but yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of abilities that make me jealous that certain characters have. Like my wife and I, we actually share an account, and she uses Deadpool, and he's got that God mode ability, which is just, what is that? You can't kill him.
Yeah, well, hey, he's Deadpool. He knows he's in the game and he hexed it, so.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go on because we can stay there all day and they keep spawning.
This is true. Yeah, I got lost in conversation there. You want to skip forward to Doom, or?
No, I'm fine with this. I have a nice pace. I'm just thinking of questions. I think it's a good point that you make, is that you actually get to play with the characters that you like, and I think it's one of the. I mean, some people ask me why you're not playing that game or that game, and at the moment I'm just like, well, can I be Spider-Man there? And I know it's a bit of a cheesy answer, but in the end, it's I see that they do it for the love of the game and the love for the characters, and they try to be as good as they can. So
definitely, yeah, and that's why I give this game, such a chance. I like that they're, really receptive to feedback too. I mean, it seems like they do take a lot of the player suggestions and use them. So
yeah, and there are some. Yeah, go on.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, you can go ahead.
Well, also I think there's a lot of explosions. The game actually looks quite good. It has quite cool effects, and it's just it's good.
Yeah, especially for a free-to-play game too. I mean, you can get all of the heroes by collecting Eternity Splinters.
Yeah.
For a game you don't pay for, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, and also Asgard is coming. It's been announced today in Comic-Con. At least that's been a teaser, and it was already announced. But yeah, you get that content. You can go to Asgard if you already play the game. You don't have to pay anything, and I kind of like that. Also, I've been covering it before. Is that if you have a subscription build game, is that I played other games and then I stopped playing because I didn't want to pay the subscription anymore. I cannot go back to those characters ever. I have to pay a subscription again. Whereas in this game, if I buy a costume, I can still play it 1 year from now. Unless this game dies, but I don't see that
Another great
happening.
thing about opening lunge is he can cover, great distances pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, I saw you. I saw you moving through my screen. Could you do that again? It's funny.
See if I have enough spirit, but yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I mean, it's faster than his rolls and some other things.
You have my attention.
But frequently in Midtown, you have to make it to a boss pretty quickly, so I'll use that to jump around the screen. So that's another bonus to investing points in that ability.
Yeah. Is it faster than the normal leap, the acrobatic leap?
I haven't used that one as much. The nice thing about the leap is that you can go over some of the, what do they call them? Barricades and things. I mean, you can just go directly over fences and walls.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it doesn't add any dodge, so I stick to action roll.
Okay, that's fair enough. Dimitri asked me who the guest is. I'm currently here with Skaughtto, and we're at the end of the interview. We covered everything Daredevil, and I'm gonna highlight this so will be able to see that on. So, but I'm still taking questions for the last few minutes. We're going up to Doom, and if you kill Doom, I'm gonna end it there. So a personal question for me is, I like how this time we actually don't only go to the game but also to comics and other media. Is what is your favorite Daredevil story from the comics, or storyline, or comic?
There are a lot of, the 5-issue series I think is a great place to start with him. Otherwise, the current series is great. Mark Waid is the writer, Chris Samney. They're doing a really great job, and it's a fun read. So that's one I get picked too. Otherwise, I know a lot of his stuff from the 90s and the 80s is a little weird, and the early stuff isn't very good. I mean, it's more comedic. He really didn't start being the Daredevil that he is until Frank Miller took over.
And that was when?
That's like issue 158, I think, is his first issue, and then a couple issues later, they introduced Elektra, they introduced the Hand. Kingpin starts to be one of the villains that shows up most, so that's a great storyline.
Do you have your Daredevil build up on Marvel Base?
I do. It's actually in my signature. So hopefully, for people that let signatures show up, that's there. So you can check it out. I try to go into detail about itemization and other things. Basically, with Daredevil, you're kind of just making the best of a bad situation. I mean, there aren't a lot of builds for him, but he can be fun to play, and he's a challenge. That's the nice thing, is taking a character who maybe isn't designed the best and trying to be decent with him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, like you said, itemization makes that really important on him, and yeah, I guess that shows.
I mean, just like your Emma, I mean, you even said you didn't have the best items on her, and you're still, you don't take any damage.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even really focused on playing her because I need to actually get some buffs up and stuff. But